Hey everybody, today's video, I'm at the home show in Springfield, Missouri, the annual HBA home show. It's been really good so far, but because we're so busy here, I'm only gonna have time to do a quick video about, I just wanted to hit something I haven't really touched on before, exterior finishes. Basically that everyone asks that question, and the truth is you can do anything you do to a regular conventionally framed house, block house, whatever. If you're doing brick, you would screw, this is the web. I've shown you guys these before, and they exist every 8 inches. That's what holds the form together while you pour, and then it becomes your stud. This plastic will hold a screw as well as wood will. So you can't really nail, it'll hold a nail, but not great. I wouldn't trust it. Use a screw for whatever you do. I'm gonna take you to a couple jobs. We recently vinyl sided my garage, and we are putting a really beautiful rock on another garage that we're doing. So I'm going to show you those two. If when you're doing brick or something like that, you would do a Z-tie. You would screw it instead of nail it. That's the moral of the story. That said, also people are going to go, well, you're not waterproofing this or that. Above ground in our climate, in our market, it really doesn't make sense to. But a lot of people ask, what do you do for waterproofing? What do you do? We do sell, again, we're mostly a Fox box dealer. We also carry Build Block and Nudura, and Nudura's got some really awesome stick-on waterproofing that we sell. You can hit me up on icfguru.com or call Chris. Remember his phone number, it's 380-4996. I'll put it right here. And they can ship that out to you directly. Nudura also has a really awesome fluid applied, which I'm a big fan of, because the one thing about stick-on that I'm not in love with is that you have a seam. And if it's whatever, groundwater, whatever, it just gets dirty, it doesn't adhere good. That's a cold joint. And you know me and monopores, that's a joint that can let something in. Fluid applied, it's got to be sprayed on. I believe it's sprayed on with an airless spray. I'll get you guys more information on that in the near future. I may even do a demo. But I love a monolithic sheet of waterproofing with no seams. Then I also think the ideal setting when it comes to waterproofing your below grade, your subgrade foundation, whatever you've put on there to waterproof, then you need to protect that, because in Missouri we have a lot of clay, but we have big rocks, and those rocks go in and they hit and they knock a hole in your beautiful waterproofing. So I like to use dimple board. Dimple board is a textured plastic product you can put on the wall. It'll protect your waterproofing from a rock hitting it, whatever. But the other thing it does is when water gets on that side of it, whether it's over the top or somehow through a seam, whatever, it gives it an unobstructed path down to your French drain. If you have a bunch of mud up here stuck to your form, it could hold the water in place on your, and push and put pressure into the concrete. So once you get that waterproof, it gets it to the French drain, path of least resistance out. Anyway, that's just a little, I'll get more into waterproofing soon when I actually have some stuff in the shop to demo. We'll talk about that. But right now, I'm gonna do the rest of this home show. I'm gonna take you into the video showing you some of the stuff we got working on exterior finishes. Okay guys, basically siding will go on just like it goes on OSB, except you have to screw it right on the Fox blocks lines, because that's where your webs are. Every 8 inches you have an opportunity to screw that. You do the same thing with wire lath. You can use Z-ties for brick. Everything works exactly the same. Some people are gonna ask why it's not like, wrapped or waterproofing. It's above ground and it's under an eave. There's absolutely no reason to. But yeah guys, this is how siding works. Very simple. I'll show you some of the rest of it. We got the building over here. We got the eaves. This is all finished product. It works out great. It's very easy. Okay guys, you can see behind me my garage looks basically just like any other garage, with the exception it has thicker jambs. Otherwise you would never know. Like I said, the only difference is instead of nailing that siding on, we use screws. And I like to use Craig screws, but any panhead fine thread screw or even coarse thread screws work fine too, and holds better than a nail. Pretty simple system. I'm going to take you to another job right now that we're putting stone veneer on, and it's, again, it's pretty much the same, just use screws instead of nails. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. You can put brick on the same way. We'll also talk a little bit about waterproofing. And like I said, we got the home show this weekend, so I'm not going to do a big crazy video, but I just kind of wanted to just, a lot of people, it's constant on the forums, what do you finish the outside with? Answer is anything, exactly the same, just a little different fasteners. All right, guys, so you can see behind me we've got the garage at the Shaw Hollow project that has the light deck roof. I got a video on that from a few months back, but they're just getting ready to start applying the Hallquist stone. It's a natural stone, matches the house. This is veneer. Some of the stone on the house was full bed, some of it was thin veneer, depending on, you know, where it was in the house. But it's a dry stack, really cool limestone design. You can see behind me here they got the wire laths still exposed, but basically it's the same thing. Instead of nailing it on, you screw it on. There's a lot of fancy weep systems that, you know, depending on if you're in a super wet environment, sometimes they like to use. We've been doing stone veneer since the early 90s in the Midwest, and it's not necessary. We just usually apply wire lath right to the over the zip board or Tyvek, and in this case you go right onto the ICF, and really easy results are achieved. Like I said, the only difference is you screw it instead of nail it. If it's brick, instead of all the scratch coat, you would just use a Z-tie. Super easy. You screw it instead of nail it. Again, like I said, guys, it's super simple. Like I said, the eave here is getting ready. You can see we got a big table in the garage. We're getting ready to do ACM. I'm going to do a whole video about ACM. I think it's a super cool architectural product that you might not have seen a lot of, because it's kind of a high-end commercial product, but we're using it more and more residentially. But yeah, guys, this is just kind of a video so I can show people when they ask, what do you do on the outside? The big house that's got the 21-foot ICF walls that we poured, that we showed last week, that one's getting all brick, so it'll just be Z-ties right on the brick. Waterproof wise, I'm gonna go back over to the show and we'll shoot a little bit over there talking about waterproofing, because you know that's gonna come up. All this is above grade, so not really an issue.